hello. If it is Wednesday, it is time for the Sohria Alexander Show. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to all my listeners on Liberty 92.3 FM. How are you guys doing? And welcome to my Facebook and YouTubers, my Cyberland listeners. Welcome to all of you, and soon to be on Liberty TV. How are you, my sweet people? How was your day? There is so many things going on, so many things. And what I would like to encourage everyone, irrespective of who you are, where you are in life, always try to be a balanced person and try to think logically for yourselves. My people, it is so wonderful taking and you being here with me for an hour. It is so wonderful. It is so beautiful having you here. And my last show on Monday, I know many people enjoyed it over the radio land. Thank you for listening in your cars, at your home, at work, in the restaurants, wherever you are. I must say that I'm ever grateful that you are part of the show. And it is a show with a difference. It is a show where anybody can be part of it by listening. Your young children, it's a family-friendly show. And I know many people were touched by the last show on Monday. And somebody sent me a very lovely note on WhatsApp. This is a private friend. Sent me a very lovely note, and it made me realize, hey girl, you did your job. You did your job on Monday, speaking about the issues surrounding, the gang violence and different stuff in our country. And the person said, oh yes, you've had so many great shows, but last night's was outstanding. And this is the kind of thing that is worth more than money. Money is welcome all the time because we have a show to run, we have bills to pay. But when people give you encouraging words like that, it says a lot. I'm going to read it to you again. Oh yes, you've had so many great shows, but last night was outstanding. Meaning the show I had on Monday, where I gave many solutions, recommendations to the powers that be. It's left to them to watch the show and take it. I'm here doing my part. You are here doing your part, listening to me and trying to be better citizens. That's all we can do. So it is just so refreshing. It is so refreshing being able to speak to you, being able for us to vibe and chat. And I know many people are waiting for 9 o'clock to listen to So, and that's great. Now, what I am going to do, my people, I am going to take a coffee break and I will be right back with you.
If it were a perfect world, I would never leave my seat. My fingers would do the clicking. My card would do the paying. And if it were a perfect world, my items would be sent hassle-free from this location to me via air or sea. And if it were a perfect world, in this one building would be warehousing, stress-free customs clearance facilities, and island-wide delivery. Fortunately, the world is that perfect because I've chosen West Indies Shipping, the leaders in imports, exports, clearance, and deliveries for over 20 years. Call them West Indies Shipping, telephone 459-0444.
And we are back. And remember, if you want to advertise with the show is every Monday and Wednesdays from 9 to 10. If you want to advertise with us, feel free to send a note, or you can send it via my Facebook page, or you can send it to WhatsApp 758-715-9458. Again, you could send it through my Facebook page, Sohria Alexander, or you can send it via WhatsApp 758-715-9458. Okay, now let's get down to business. I was kind of taken aback with a video that another reporter from another local station did. And it really caused me to think. It really broke my heart, to put it that way. That when I view this video, and we are going to be real here, I do not know the nitty-gritties that happened between the lady, Miss Vera, and her daughter, her children. But when something is presented to us in the public, we have to shout, we have to scream, so that this person can get the necessary assistance that they need. And this is why I keep saying, when we were growing up, right, we always looked out for each other. But times have changed. Imagine people in St. Lucia. We have a lot of this going on, but in St. Lucia, imagine, we live next door to our neighbor, and sometimes we don't see that neighbor for months or weeks because we all about our business. We assume that neighbor is doing okay. Sometimes through no fault of ours, because we are all busy with our lives, our daily schedule. It can be very stressful. And there is a saying that says, you're telling me that I am not checking on you, but however, do you know the struggles I too may be facing, and you're saying to me that I am not checking on you? It's a very vicious circle. This is why family is very, very important. I am a firm believer of family. Family is very, very important, but I will boldly add that family can be your worst enemy. I will repeat it again. Family can be your worst enemy. And I'm not saying it just so to say it. I am speaking from experience. I have experienced it too, and badly. But you know, not everybody is strong like Sohria Alexander to take the pressure and stand her ground. Not everybody may have the financial resources to say, hey, I can make it on my own. And many of you listening to me in Radio Land and even in Cyber Land, many of you can relate to what I am saying, that sometimes a stranger may assist you faster than family. I have had it too, where my own family, my own siblings have turned into me. I have had it. And basically, I operate on my own because family is important. But if people don't realize how important family is, who am I to make you understand family is important? I have dealt with it. I have dealt with the abuse by them on Facebook, telling other people all sorts of things. But I am a very solid person, and I'm very confident in myself, so I can move on. I say all this to you because when I come and speak to you, I don't want you to believe I'm just talking out of my head. I have also gone through it too. And many times families do not want to bind together to pull their resources together, financial resources together, to assist a cause. They want to leave it all on one family member, and you yourself going through your own financial stresses that you have to deal with, but nobody wants to come together. So this is very dear to my heart when I come to you and I say to you, family is very important. And what we realize, one thing you'll not find me come in and speak bad of my family in public. But some people take a pride in doing that. And what they fail to realize is the same people you are back talking, your family, your children, your husband, your brother, your sister, those same people you are bad talking your family with, they are not bad talking their family with you. Every family has issues, and then what family members do, they recruit other people who dislike you to try to embarrass you and to try to say all sorts of stuff. So when I'm speaking to you, I am coming and speaking to you from a point of knowledge. From a point of knowledge. I have been left with certain things to do for family, and I had to use my own financial resources, and everybody back away. So when I am here, I am speaking to you because I know how devious family could be. Now, as I said, I saw this video and I think it is appropriate to bring life to the situation. And when I say to you, my people, when I say to you that it is important to look out for each other, and it is important for government to ensure that the elderly, that they are taken care of. We cannot have a ministry stating elderly wellness, and then I am seeing this woman living in that condition. Now, mind you, there are many people in St. Lucia living in deplorable conditions. There are many people living in St. Lucia, and where they live is heart-wrenching. Now, I am going to play the video. My listeners in Radio Land, listen attentively, and my cyber viewers, you'll listen and hear also. So I'm going to play this video for you.
Name is Vera, and she's a mother of two. Her son took MBC Prime into the house to view the conditions in which his 86-year-old mother currently lives. To enter the structure she calls home, her son had to squeeze through a makeshift door to the side of the house to open the main entrance door to admit the MBC Prime team. Standing in the first room, we were told the dreadful story by her son of how his mom's living condition had deteriorated to such an extent. He said he could not believe what he saw.
I'll always be with you, Mom. No matter what happened.
What happened, my lady? I went to be
I just can't take my mother and put with me because I believe it. I would like them to pay somebody to take care of her and I'll deal with the person, but my mother can't stay in that state.
Vera has been residing at Cicero for the past 30 years with her daughter, who her son says abandoned the home 5 months ago to live elsewhere. Vera can hardly move around inside her home.
I cannot stand up and do. I cannot come to the door and do anything. I am just helpless. This son cannot do anything for me. You see it? And the nails. The last time is a lady who trimmed my hair and cut it for me. I was thinking I need a bath from the sea, number one. But I have nobody to go with, and I am not feeling well. I can go by myself. You understand?
According to the 86-year-old mother of two, the government promised to construct a home for her some time ago. However, her daughter commenced a concrete structure that currently remains incomplete.
I would try to get some people to build a house down there for me by the mango, because government came and survey a land here for me, and he's going to bring for me. He's coming to build. May came and build what nonsense she built here without governments and things like that mine, and brought any amount of people over me, and some of them doing me wickedness, throwing water on top of me whilst I am sleeping. I am getting wet. When I wake up, I feeling all myself, my joints hurting me, and she's the one who brought them there. A lot of wickedness. Look at that mark I have.
The daughter, according to the mother and son, is presently renting a home elsewhere. Vera recounts an incident which occurred prior to her daughter's departure from home.
She never have me like a mother. She left me when she going to oversee cause EDI upon Francais Martinique. I had money where government had given me. She went and took the money. She told me she came, I take $40 from the money if they ask me for plane. But at the time we did not have a bread inside this house there, neither cocoa nor to make tea. She brought the balance of money for me, and she know I could not get up and buy. That day I nearly died here where I am. I was so hungry, but she bringing the cash to me.
The senior citizen says a young man from the area was able to assist her with her needs.
I'm not looking for any help. I'm on God's account. That's how I am.
Vera's son wants a better living condition for his mother.
I want an improvement to change. She can't be living in that situation.
No, I cannot.
So because what happened is that she don't live with me, but I always come and visit her. And because my sister was living with her, I had contact with my sister in asking if she have a problem, let me know. I used to give her money for her. You know, and every time I ask her, oh, mommy's okay. So when I start visiting, I see the condition of that place. Not even my dogs that will be living in that situation. And she keep telling people, my mother is fine.
He says he has attempted to improve on his mother's situation. However, he was met with opposition.
What I'm saying, I tell her I would get a maid, like a servant, somebody to bathe my mother, not every day, but to pay the person twice a week or 3 times a week to bathe my mother, bring her and see the doctor. We do something, get a room. I say I would come there, I'm a painter. I would occupy a room, paint it properly for her, organize. She don't want me to do that. She even block in there, showing she don't want me to. She block in there. Right, she doesn't want me to come in.
I want you to come here.
Yeah, man, I'll always be with you, ma'am. No matter what happened.
What happened, my lady? I went to build
I just can't take my mother and put with me because I believe in it. You know.
Vera's son says while he wishes for better accommodation for her, he is unable to house his mother where he currently resides. According to the distressed son, his living conditions are not suitable for his mother. While NBC Prime attempted to contact Vera's daughter, our efforts remained unsuccessful. Cecil Actil, NBC Prime.
Now, to the people in Radioland, the video showed how badly the lady's environment is. And not even, honestly, I'll speak to you. Honestly, I'll say to you, not even your dog supposed to live in a filthy environment like this. Now, I want to be very careful because I'm not here going to blame the daughter. I do not know the circumstances. My job here is to bring awareness that the authorities not only look for Vera, but also look for the thousands and hundreds of people who live in such deplorable conditions in St. Lucia. This cannot be right, and it will never be right. And it is the same thing I keep saying. We do not care for each other. We live next door to people. We do not care. Now, what really broke my heart, you mean to tell me that in a community, because the lady, excuse me, the lady Vera lives at Cicero. Help me understand something. Nobody knew that there was this woman living in this condition for 5 months because she said her daughter was living with her and then the daughter left. You mean to tell me after St. Lucians like Zafir Moon, nobody in the area realized that something was not clicking? Because I am sure, because let me tell you how my neighbors are. Sometimes when they see me, they tell me, "You in St. Lucia? We haven't seen you for a while." They check to see if I am there. So you mean to tell me, you means pour dis-moi that nobody within this community checked to see what was happening on the lady? We in our community, we know all those who are elderly, and if we don't see them, we say, but where is this person? Where is that person? You mean to let me tell you, hunger, the condition she's living there, anything, any animal can come bite her. Rain can wet her, and Jesus, and we are coming to the hurricane season. And I'm not only speaking for Miss Vera, because Miss Vera could be my mother. I'm not even speaking for Miss Vera alone. I'm speaking for all the people who have found themselves in her situation. We have become, let me tell you, the nation, government have to do their part, and I'm always going to say that. I'm always going to hold them accountable to what they have to do for the citizens of St. Lucia. But you mean to tell me we get so cold in our hearts that we don't care for people again? And the lady is saying on the sun, and when I posted this video on my page, Sohria Alexander page, many people were very insensitive to the sun, but you can see that I empathize with the son, because if the son was financially able, he would have taken his mother out of there and put her somewhere better, because he himself was saying he's a painter, he's going to paint, he's going to get somebody to come twice a week to take care of her. And I saw a lot of people blaming him, and the guy was crying. It takes a village not only to raise a child. All of us are going to get old someday, and we need people. But you know what? You like to mépriser people, mal parler, mauvais langue. That's all you're good for. Put your good deeds in helping people. And sometimes, even when you put your good deeds into helping people, you get mauvais langue. Leave them for God. Don't worry if that. Do your good and turn your back. I always tell people, when I do for you, I ain't want nothing from you. Nothing. I do for you and I turn my back and I leave. And you know, this is why I really love some of the contributions on my page, because when I posted this, there was a lady who made a very awesome contribution. Her name is Miss Yvette Fowell. And these are the things we, our age group, this is what we know. Helping each other, being there for each other. Right? There's a blind gentleman in my community. We always look for him. We check on him. You okay there? You all right? Right, so if we're not seeing him, we know maybe something is wrong. Who means pudim when nobody? People don't care for each other. All you'll care for is to fight for politicians, and your own people sit there starving, hungry, hurting, and you're like checking for them. So this lady said, Miss Yvette Fowell said, Cicero people, get this lady on the program and get her care. And get her a caregiver some hours in the week. Her rep is Honorable Dr. Ernest Hille. Rep, spring into action. Citizens can get together and clean up for this lady. I am sure people will help. Somebody have a plan and we can do it instead of just talking about it. We need more action. She is right on the money. And then Miss Teresa Bissett Belizier came on my wall and she said, I am willing to make a contribution. I am willing to make a contribution towards this lady. My response to Miss Belizier was, this has to be done through the social welfare or the welfare constituency group. You mean to tell me that we have welfare groups? Oh dear me. Can somebody explain to Sohria Louise Ernest Alexander? Can somebody explain to me, how does this caregiver program work? How does this caregiver program work? Because I have gotten many complaints from people who are taking care of older folks. I have a situation where a lady actually took an elderly citizen into her home, taking care of that elderly citizen on her own money, on her family's money, and she is getting no sort of financial assistance. She has gone to the various caregiver programs trying to fit herself on it so she can get the little thousand or whatever you given to help her with the lady, because she's using her own resources. She have even asked me if I can get people to help her to get Pampers and different things. So I want somebody in authority to come and explain to me, how does this caregiver program work? Is it only your friends you take care of, or are we taking care of every elderly citizen and the people who take care of them? Because this lady, I'm telling you facts, this lady took this lady into her home. I'm not talking about Miss Vera, I'm giving you another example. This lady took this elderly citizen into her home from where she was that was bad and everything, and she's taking care of her. She has walked to SSDF. She has gone to Honorable Dr. Ernest Hille office trying to be placed on the caregiver program. This is what you call a selfless woman. And this same woman I'm talking about who is selfless is from the same constituency of Castries South. Right? A lot of people reach out to me to speak to me because they believe I have a voice and I can speak and they can get help. What foolishness is going on when in terms of health, in terms of caregiving, caregivers, taking care of them? What foolishness is going on? Because we have people who are seeking assistance. You go to the SSDF, working for months. I want to see our millions going to help our elderly citizens because they are the rocks. They are the pillar of our society. I don't know Miss Vera background in terms of her relationship with her children. That ain't my business. What is my business is that she's suffering now. Where are the authorities in terms of those programs, those caregiver programs? Where are they? You supposed to have those groups going through the different areas, right? You have your various team leaders. Are the team leaders just pulling in maybe all the benefits and doing nothing for the elderly? This is pure rubbish. This is pure rubbish. People are hurting. Take the millions. And it shouldn't be. Why should somebody want to be on the caregiving thing and it is friends? You know, I cannot put your name. I cannot do this for you. I cannot do that for you. And friends are there. If we do not take care of our elderly citizens as a nation and provide for them, God is going to deal with this nation. We cannot only do lip service. There are many people with nothing in St. Lucia, nothing. And you know what they do? They help the elderly with the nothing they have. These are the issues we should be discussing and making noise for. All you good for is to make noise for politician and political party. Manita pusa. Because one day I will get old. And we never know what rocks life is going to throw to us. So we cannot play as if we're better than anybody and everybody. We big. I could have $1 million today and have zero tomorrow. I could have the biggest mansion and go and I'm homeless on the streets. I could have the biggest job and I'm jobless. I am speaking reality to you because many people have become very cold in their interaction towards people. But they are not cold to the politicians. They are not cold to politics. They're always up in the air. But we, flesh and blood, our own people who are in need, we do not fight for them. We do not fight for them. And my people, I am going to take another coffee break and I'll be back with you shortly.
If it were a perfect world, I would never leave my seat. My fingers would do the clicking. My card would do the paying. And if it were a perfect world, my items would be sent hassle-free from this location to me via air or sea. And if it were a perfect world, in this one building would be warehousing, stress-free customs clearance facilities, and island-wide delivery. Fortunately, the world is that perfect because I've chosen West Indies Shipping, the leaders in imports, exports, clearance, and deliveries for over 20 years. Call them West Indies Shipping, telephone 459-0444.
And we are back. And again, if you want to advertise with me on my show, we're on every Monday and Wednesday. We're on Liberty 92.3 FM. You're going to get a wide coverage of your ads. I'm also on Facebook and YouTube and even on television. Our rates are extremely good and I'm happy for corporate sponsors believing in us. So as I said, you can drop me a note. If you go on my Facebook page, Sohria Alexander, you're going to see where you can message me. And also, you can call me 758-715-9458. We'll take good care of you. My producers surely will. Now, people, let's get back to the root of the matter. There are many things affecting us, but we are willing to put it on a side to make politicians feel better. We need a proper structure for this caregiving program. Get your various team leaders the same way people canvass when it's election. Some of them I never see. When it's elections, I see everybody coming on to ask me all kind of questions. The same way you canvass for elections, right? Please use the team leaders to go throughout the various constituencies to ask various questions. You will get information as to the people who really need the help. And this gentleman I'm speaking to you about who is blind, we have good people within our constituency. The neighbors go check him. Take care of him, give him food, give him, some money, talk to him. Before I speak, he knows my name. So. Take those team leaders, because every member of parliament or constituency representative have their various team leaders. I want y'all to do better. I really want y'all to do better, because when I saw the condition this lady is living in, no. No electricity, no water. The place is like a dump. I am not telling you to go build a 3-story mansion for the lady, but the lady needs to be assessed. She needs the help. Now, I know my medical friends have said to me, as long as someone is lucid, you cannot do anything against their will. Some people like to stay in their mess or whatever. But at least, let's have a heart. This lady can't really bathe herself. I'm wondering how this lady used the loo. Oh, let me tell you, this is heartbreaking. Because one day you and I will get old too. We may not be in her condition, but we may need somebody to come and sit with us at our home just to keep us company. And that is the importance of having a caregiving service. And what we have now in St. Lucia, the government of St. Lucia, Minister of Equity, whom I know, is not too well. So whoever else is there, you'll need to have a proper program, a proper plan. This ain't nothing to do with friends. Take our hard-earned tax monies and spend it on these people. We will be fine. We're happy with that. They were the pillar of our society. They build our society. Everything is friend. When you and I get old, we may not be able to get off the bed and we'll want somebody to come and help us. Now, some people may say, oh, she treated her daughter bad, she did this. That ain't my business. Her son brought it to the fore, so the authorities and we now have to take care of her. And not only her, right? We have to take care of the many people who are in that situation. It is always easy to say, me, I'm not in that situation, and turn a blind eye. I'm hearing too many complaints, and there are people we need to. This lady is from Castries South, and the other person who is helping that individual, it's not like she rich, using her family's money trying to help her. Somebody should look at her too. I want to know if you're not going through the constituencies to see what is going on. And then we want to talk about the ills that happen in society. We also have to protect the senior citizen. This lady also needs a mental evaluation, physical evaluation, and take care of her. Are we going to allow our senior citizens, now apart from the senior citizens, I know there are others living like that, not elderly, but I'm dealing with the elderly now. We cannot just have a ministry with words saying elderly citizens and we are checking for our people. You know what? Why every constituency have welfare groups? What are you doing? And if you know, and this is where we have to change how we do things. Because the caregivers have a job to take care of the elderly. We do not expect them to go walking all around seeing who needs things. No, there should be a special group like the welfare group doing these things. This is a job. Many people want positions. When the reps win or this, everybody want position, but are you willing to put the work into it? Are you willing to put the sacrifice into it? It cannot be a show. It should never be a show. We saw her son crying. We saw him crying. You could hear he is saying he cannot take his mother because we know financially, based on what he said, he cannot do it. Again, I don't know the daughter's story. I'm not bashing her, but I am speaking out to all the people in Miss Vera's situation, and nobody's talking about them. You mean to tell me, oh, Munka, wait, Munsa, Mal? And it's not like she is a young person, she's an old person. So you can obviously pass and say, hey, Miss Vera, how you doing there? What's going on? I don't care what Miss Vera did in her past. Excuse me. I don't care what Miss Vera did. I care about the now, and people like her should be taken care of. What is going on with us as a people? I realize there's a trend in this country. All we can talk about is politicians. We fighting each other. We fighting this one. I had to say on the government of St. Lucia's live when they had house on Tuesday, I had to say, I really want to know if I fall down on the street and somebody's coming to help me. Am I going to say, are you labor or are you flubber? You see how silly that sounds? You see how silly that sounds? We need to go back to the place and see each other as my brother and as my sister. So you mean to tell me we must stop these people? People are hurting. And I will say that again. We need to investigate the caregiving program. I'm hearing people going to, you know, when it comes to the elderly, I have a soft spot for them, and I'll tell you why. I love my grandmother so much. When I came from school, because her husband died, when I came from school, what I did, I just go do what I have to, and I run by my grandmother. I'm there with her, I'm staying with her because her husband died. My home was not far from hers. You know, we originally from Sanssouci, and my grandmother was Lansdowne. So it's just a walk down to her. And I would love to go across with her. My grandma, oh my God, I tell you, my grandma used to make the best stew backs, green fig, and plantain. And let me tell you, I have never tasted anybody's stew back like grandma. Now, I personally, so I like to clean backs. Anything with bones, I like to eat that. And my grandma used to do that, and I used to tete that. I used to enjoy that. And this is why maybe I am like that. Because I remember when my grandmother died, I stayed by the tomb and I cried so much. So I need the authorities to look into that, because I'm hearing too many horror stories. You mean tell me people walk into SSDF trying to get assistance for people, and I'm hearing some of the employees are very rude, and even some of those at the constituency offices, I heard are very rude. Listen, we the people are important. We are important. Don't treat our elderly or people coming to look for assistance for the elderly. Don't treat them like that. My grandma was fortunate to have all her estates, to have all her things, and take care of herself and not go in and look for anything from anybody. But people who need the help should be given the help. This is wrong. Wrong on all levels. When people sit to me and tell me so they're rude to me, I going up and down. For months, somebody is taking care of somebody looking for help. Put our money in our elderly. I ain't got no problem with that. Take a couple of millions, put it in them. We cannot just say and not do. We have to be able to be in a position to make a change. And change starts with the people who can make the difference. And I am speaking not only for Ms. Vera. I'm not speaking only to the lady who told me about her situation, trying to get assistance for, this person. Imagine, you yourself more in need and you're taking care of somebody, an elderly person. This is somebody with good heart. Take care of the people within the various constituencies. Take care of them. And this is what I keep saying to people. If I was ever a member of parliament or a constituency rep, let me tell you something. You see me? I would not lose my seat. I may lose my seat maybe because of something the organization I am with, so everybody retaliates and vote me out. But I would not lose my seat. I would be there for my people. Let me tell you what is more important to the people, that their needs are met. Now, you will not see people like me coming to constituency reps and different things. I know. But there are people who needs the help, and you should take care of them. And even if I don't need anything from you, you should still come and say, I'm just passing through, how are you? Do you know anybody that needs anything? Or how are you? Do you need anything? I may not need anything. I may tell you where you need to go forward and what to do right. I could never lose my seat if I was a rep, because my people would see me. I would not only wait for Wednesday to take care of my people. I would be there with my people. And let me tell you something. When you are a member of parliament, a constituency rep, your life is a life of service. Let me just tell you, you don't have a life. Wives, girlfriends, jabals, concubines, husbands, sideman, whatever it is, when your spouse or your significant other is a member of parliament, they have no time for you. You are not their priority anymore. The people who voted them in are their priority. They don't have a life. And if you ask many of the constituency reps' wives, girlfriends, whatever, they'll tell you that these men and women don't have a life, because everybody wants a piece of them. And this is where your team is critical, that you have a team. Now, some people have a bad habit that if they don't see the rep, they're not feeling good. And you can't blame them. You can't blame them. That's just how it is. But if you go and somebody's able to give you the results you want, take it. And these various constituencies must have good organizations, people who are on the ball to work. I am talking for my elderly citizens because I really love my grandma. I really love my grandma. I remembered I went somewhere with the brownies and I had a bag, and then they left. I couldn't, and my bag had my glasses and all sorts of things that we couldn't find my bag. My grandma, the next day, went with me. We found the bag, we found the glasses, we found everything. So grandmas are important. We cannot leave our elderly citizens like that. And I'm not speaking on behalf of Miss Vera alone. I'm speaking on behalf of all the people in situations like that. But you see, we are so blindsided. We are so blindsided. All we want to talk about is politics, politics. Me puis pa si. Me puis pa la. Jumbo po si. Jumbo pa la. All kind of foolishness. Let us change our ways and be critical thinkers and help our country. Let us just stop this thing, and let us, you walk up the road, or you in your car, you turn, you say, hey, I'm not seeing this person, or you turn, I'm not seeing. And then you go, then you see a situation. You may not be able to help the situation, but you refer it. And you see the time lapse when people who are really in need, going to SSDF, going to the various places, the constituencies, going and look for help. The time frame should not be so long. Let us help each other irrespective of who they are. Let us help each other irrespective of who they are. We need to do better. Family matters. And sometimes people have no family. All they rely on is the goodwill and goodness of others. They rely on the goodwill and goodness of others. Let us be kind. And I remember one day I was walking in town. And this young guy walked up to me, all raggy, all raggedy. And I could see he's a young man, raggedy. But he was ahead of me, walking towards me. And then he was stopping, asking different people to get him something to eat. Now, you know, people, when they see you all raggedy and things, they don't want to take you on. So he stopped me and he said, "The lady, I am hungry. Can you buy me something to eat?" So there was another gentleman walk in, and he realized he stopped. The guy stopped talking to me. So then the gentleman stopped. And then I said to him, "What do you want to eat?" And then he said, "Can you buy me some chicken and fries for $10? And the other gentleman stopped because he realized the guy stopped me talking to me, and he heard, and he too wanted to jump into action to buy it for him, but I had it covered up already. So I said, "Let's go." He told me, and jeez. What really hurt me, he said to me, "The lady, I'm hungry. I don't need your money. I just need something to eat." He said, "I just need something to eat. I just need fries and chicken." I went. He said me, "Don't give me the money." I paid it for him, the $10, and then I got something for him to drink. And then he told me, "The lady, thank you." And he sat there and he ate the chicken and fries on the outside. You never know what somebody is going through. You and I have our struggles. You and I may be able to deal with it, but somebody else going through it cannot deal with it and do not have the means to deal with it. This is why I tell you, my show is for us to rap. And when you leave to go to your bed, I leave you feeling good and thinking. Now we're going to take another coffee break, and I'll be right back with you.
If it were a perfect world, I would never leave my seat. My fingers would do the clicking. My card would do the paying. And if it were a perfect world, my items would be sent hassle-free from this location to me via air or sea. And if it were a perfect world, in this one building would be warehousing, stress-free customs clearance facilities, and island-wide delivery. Fortunately, the world is that perfect because I've chosen West Indies Shipping, the leaders in imports, exports, clearance, and deliveries for over 20 years. Call them West Indies Shipping, telephone 459-0444.
So yes, my people, tonight I have spoken to your heart. I have spoken to your emotions. I have spoken to you because family matters, but sometimes we have to realize that people do not have family. They really do not have nobody. And even if sometimes they do have family, they're not in a position to help them. Now, you remember before, we used to have, as a child growing up, we used to have these mothers and fathers group in every constituency. Let me tell you, growing up as a child, a young girl, we used to have that mothers and fathers group this, mothers and fathers group that. These days, we're not hearing nothing about it. Nothing. According to Devontae, nothing. We're not hearing anything about that. What is happening or what has happened to those groups? These groups played an integral part in the lives of the community, the lives of the people. What happened to those mothers and fathers groups? Disappeared. These days you're not hearing anything family oriented. Mothers and fathers, everybody's there. And I remember I went to an activity at the Sandals Golf Club, and it was for big people. But you know what? The younger people showed up. They like our vibe. They like our vibe because the young people, a lot of them, they understand our music of yesterday. They love it than the brang 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 brang. They love it, and and they said that I like the older people vibe. I'm not old, but I mean to say, somebody 20 something. I'm older than them. You understand? They like our vibe. So we need to bring that in. We need to nurture people. And I was very happy to see a young man saying on my show on Monday that when I spoke about the gun violence and different things, that I brought up so many beautiful points, and he's so happy he found that channel. He said my son Kyle Ernest recommended my channel to him for him to view. Young people, come, let me tell you something. I understand y'all, but when y'all do nonsense, I will not support you. Not now, not ever. I am not perfect. I too have my shortcomings, but we all work together in everything that we do. Always work together. That is the only thing that will keep us pressing forward, working together as one. Mothers and fathers group disappear. Tooth bag guy disappear. Let me tell you, we used to have so many different clubs, sporting clubs within the community. Not the big things we have now, but the little sporting clubs, everybody with each other. That friend said, but where society, where John I see John, where team I see team, where this one. But now everybody is cyber. Phone. This interaction is not there anymore. So this is what I want to leave with you, my people. Radio Land, I know you're always there with me. Thank you for listening. And also to my people in Cyberland, YouTube and Facebook. Remember, family matters.
We will never watch the family, them fall and sprawl out from everywhere we crawl